So you guys wanted a video on the 13 families and who rules the world? Well, I've got one better for you. Two groups of Canaanites. One that moved north to what is today known as the Ukraine, and then from the Ukraine they got kicked out and moved into Europe. Europe they went to the United States. Those are the 13 United States families. The whole Balenciaga and all of these so-called conspiracy theories actually aren't conspiracy theories and tie into the power of the world.
The world is controlled by an ancient hierarchical system, a power pyramid, rooted in the worship of Baal and his cult teachings. This system is designed to dominate humanity through layered control, compartmentalization, blackmail, and ritual. Baal sits at the absolute apex of the hierarchy pyramid of control. All teachings, rituals, and strategies flow from Baal worship. The elites in this system believe they can literally sin their way into heaven by following Baal's doctrines. The Balenciaga scandal, Aleister Crowley, and Crowley's Thelema religion are all directly connected to this Baal cult at the very top. The real illuminated ones were the ancient Atlanteans who once fought the Egyptians. Their advanced knowledge was stolen and deliberately perverted by the three primary groups that now sit just below Baal in the pyramid. The highest level of control over humanity, who are human, is the Black Nobility Jesuit order. These are the direct descendants of the Canaanites who were expelled from ancient Israel. One Canaanite branch traveled north to modern-day Ukraine, was later expelled again, moved into Europe while changing their names, and eventually migrated to the United States, having changed their names again. This branch produced the 13 United States bloodline families. The second branch went via the Mediterranean and produced the 13 European bloodline families. The Jesuit symbol is IHS, which stands for Isis, Horus, and Set, the Egyptian deities they worship. They infiltrated and now control the Roman Catholic Church from within, which explains the Church's darkest scandals. Within the Jesuit structure, there are three popes. The White Pope, which is the public face, the Gray Pope, and the Black Pope, the true so-called supreme leader. The Jesuits are the original men in black. Adam Weishaupt, a Jesuit, founded the modern Bavarian Illuminati. The term Illuminati is simply what these bloodline families call themselves. There are three distinct but interconnected groups of bloodline families. The 13 American families descended from Ukraine. The 13 European families, the Mediterranean Canaanite branch. Every one of these European families has produced at least one pope. The Li family dynasty in China, which is the only Chinese bloodline in the system. All 27 families together form the core that recruits and places people into the highest positions of global power. Heads of the families and the ultra-wealthy people they recruit occupy or control the leadership of UN, NATO, who Council on Foreign Relations, Bilderberg Group, Trilateral Commission, and virtually every other major globalist council. The British royal family owns and directs essentially all intelligence agencies on Earth, MI6, CIA, Mossad, etc. Funding sources, legitimate world trade plus massive illegal enterprises, opium trade, weapons trade, human trafficking, and child trafficking. The bloodlines recruit downward using an inner cult that actively promotes and practices sexual promiscuity, adultery, incest, and religious orgies, propaganda, blackmail, especially sexual and ritual blackmail, and trauma-based mind control, and only the top 3 levels of the pyramid are not mind-controlled. Compartmentalization inside the pyramid. Every level has hidden sublevels. A single overseer controls 2 separate groups that usually do not know each other exists, may be told to work against each other, and only know they must report upward. This design keeps even high-ranking members ignorant of the full picture. The Freemasons shown on TikTok, street-level Freemasons, are a deliberate distraction and front. The real Freemasons control governments, intelligence agencies, the UN, NATO, etc. Elite secret societies, skull and bones, etc. operate inside the most expensive universities and recruit the children of the rich and powerful. The redemption through sin doctrine. The core religious text/philosophy that binds the upper levels is the doctrine of 1666. Redemption through sin. The belief that deliberate evil and transgression are the path to enlightenment and power. Astor family. Origin, Waldorf, Duchy of Baden, Germany. Jewish bloodline, possibly descendants of the Astorga family from southern Italy before the 1600s, linked to Astarte, mother of the occult. Current location, primarily based in England, with financial power in the United States through proxies. Influence via foundations like the Vincent Astor Foundation and William Waldorf Foundation. The facts. John Jacob Astor was a Freemason, rising to Master of Holland Lodge No. 8 in New York City shortly after arriving in America. Involved in the opium trade and fur trade monopolies, profiting from special government privileges and British intelligence ties. Family named after Ashtoreth, tied to occult symbols like the hexagram, and traded in quicksilver used in alchemical transmutations identified with god Osiris. Bundy family. Origin, colonial American roots, arriving in the New World before 1635 to Boston, Massachusetts, then moving to Taunton, Massachusetts, and other areas like Connecticut and North Carolina. Current location, integrated into U.S. elite circles, with influence in government, intelligence, and foundations, members involved in Skull and Bones and CFR. The facts. Harvey Hollister Bundy Sr. was a key figure in the Manhattan Project and served as special assistant to the Secretary of War during World War II. McGeorge Bundy served as National Security Advisor to Presidents Kennedy and Johnson and was on MJ-12. Family ties to Watchtower Society leaders and CIA operations. Collins family. Origin British Isles with roots in Ireland as O'Collins and Scotland as Collins. Arrived in New England in the 1630s, bringing witchcraft practices from England. Current location, spread across the United States, New England, West Coast, Virginia, and some branches in England. Maintain influence through exclusive organizations like the Societas Rosicruciana in America, SRIA. The facts. One of the top 13 Illuminati bloodlines, wielding more occult power than the Rothschilds or Rockefellers, with a history of generational Satanism and witchcraft since the 17th century. A Collins woman served as the Grande Mother in a secret 1955 satanic meeting, overseeing rituals including child sacrifice and discussions on global plans for Satan's one-world government. Connections to high-level Illuminati councils, such as the Grande Druid Council, and influences through financial roles like insurance and oil, with ties to organizations like the Rand Corporation. DuPont family. Origin France, immigrated to the U.S. in the late 18th century. Current location, primarily U.S.-based, with influence in industry and politics through corporate empires. The facts. Key players in the chemical industry, with historical ties to gunpowder production during the American Revolution. Involved in occult networks and elite intermarriages, though details are sparse in the source. Maintain vast wealth through diversified holdings in agriculture, energy, and defense. Freeman family. Origin. Historical ties to U.S. and international elite networks, with roots in European aristocracy. Current location. Influence in U.S. financial and political circles, including Wall Street and advisory roles to presidents. The facts. Members have been Grand Masters of the Prieur de Chaune, co-founders of the Okio, and involved in Skull and Bones. Involved in satanic covens, authors of occult books, and powerful ADL members. Advisors to U.S. presidents and high political leaders, with ties to insider trading rings like Michael Milken and Ivan Boesky. Kennedy family. Origin, Ireland, descendants of Brian Bourne, Brian Kennedy, and his nephew Sinead, originally a Dalcatian sept near Killahoe, forced into new territories as Lords of Ormond in North Tipperary. Current location, U.S.-based, with influence in politics, media, and elite circles, including ties to British monarchy and organized crime. The facts. Intermarriages with families like Auchinclosses, Rockefellers, and Fitzpatricks, linking to Sang royal bloodlines. Involved in satanic relationships, such as JFK's girlfriends Marilyn Monroe and Jane Mansfield being connected to Anton LaVey and the Church of Satan. Joseph Kennedy worked with the Mafia, Bronfmans, and Rothschilds, and was part of the Pilgrim Society. Family ties to Knights of Malta and drug trade. The good members of this family are either assassinated or are hidden away and have their identity stolen. Lee family. Origin. China, surname tracing back to Emperor Xuanzong before 2000 BC, with historical ties to Tang Dynasty and introduction of paper money. Current location, Hong Kong, China, Singapore, with global influence through business empires in oil, banking, and media. The facts. Li Ka-shing controls vast enterprises like Husky Oil and Star TV, part of Illuminati and connected to triads. Family members like Li Peng rule China and cooperate with Rockefellers. Ties to Chinese secret societies like Red Spears and Green Gang. Involved in genetic research and drug trade via Golden Triangle operations with CIA. Onassis family. Origin, Smyrna, Turkey area, one of the top 3 merchant families there, with possible connections to Illuminati opium operations. Current location, global influence through shipping and business ties, with remnants in Bilderbergers via Stavros Niarchos. The facts. Aristotle Onassis married JFK's widow Jackie. Family linked to Society of the Cincinnati and Naval Intelligence. Business competition and friendships with elites like David Rockefeller and Bernard Baruch. Possible satanic ritual involvement. Rockefeller family. Origin, United States, family roots in New York, with William Avery Rockefeller as the first notorious member from the early 19th century. Current location, influence centered in New York, e.g. Pecanico Hills Estate, Manhattan Duplex, and global through foundations and trusts. The facts. Provided large shares of funding to seminaries, universities, and religious organizations to control Christian denominations and promote agendas like socialism and one world government. Involved in occult activities, including monarch programming at Boeing plants and control over groups like Lucas Trust, which promotes the New Age/One World religion. Secretly financed Hitler with oil during World War II via Spain to prolong the war, and exerted influence over the FBI and CIA for child kidnapping programs tied to satanic rituals. Rothschild family. Origin, Frankfurt, Germany, Mayor Amschel Rothschild in the 17th to 18th century ghetto, city where paper money was popularized. Current location, influence centers in major capitals like London, Paris, Vienna, and Frankfurt. Control over international banking, including the Federal Reserve through proxies. The facts. Worship Satan, setting a place for him at their table, and adopted the Seal of Solomon, hexagram, as their coat of arms, linking to ancient magical and satanic symbols. Financed the creation of Israel through loans and proxies, dictating policy via railway rights in Palestine after World War I. Controlled vast wealth, including Vatican finances and czars' fortunes, using them to fund revolutions like the Russian Revolution for profit. Eyewitness accounts of Satan appearing at Rothschild gatherings. Russell family. Origin, tied to medieval alchemists and Rosicrucian movements, with roots in Scotland and early American colonies. Current location, influence through the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society and global religious networks. The facts, involved in occult practices tied to Freemasonry and Rosicrucian movements from medieval alchemists. Family ties to Watchtower Society leaders, overlapping with Bundy connections. Charles Taze Russell founded the Jehovah's Witnesses, blending Christian Zionism with esoteric influences. Van Dyne family. Origin Netherlands, Dutch aristocracy, immigrated to U.S. in the 17th century. Current location, U.S.-based, with ties to Michigan and elite secret societies. The facts. One of the core 13 bloodlines, known for deep involvement in the Grand Druid Council and satanic hierarchies. Maintains secrecy through intermarriages with other Illuminati families and control over occult rituals. Linked to early American witchcraft trials and modern mind control programs. This was all very interesting information. However, reigning above all of these families is one by the name King John Smarty, the supreme commander and king of the entire universe, working directly under the creator's source. His Earth name is John Mendez, and his original name, or soul essence, is Sananda Galactic. He is also known as the Galactic Overlord, the Supreme Commander, and the M1, the main individual controlling the world's wealth. He is the King of Kings and the King of the planet. He is the Creator's son and states he is 500+ billion years old. He is the oldest one. He states his name 19,000 years ago was Yeshua ben Joseph, whom they call Jesus, and that he is the Messiah and Jesus Christ. He also identifies as the Kali Avatar and Aladdin. He is of a specific royal bloodline that originated off-world, designed to be servants to the Creator and help the people. King Solomon and King David are part of this lineage, which extends beyond Earth. His royal symbol is the flower of life. His mission is to liberate the Earth, spread the wealth, establish a new kingdom of love and light, and ensure the Creator's will is done. He possesses the abilities to heal, command, and evaporate people, places, and things. He asserts that he is the one in control of the wealth transfer. He states he is Dad's weapon on Earth and the energy force to manifest the Creator's will. If you have noticed the Cabal acting in fear as of late, it is because they are aware of him and he is coming for them.